morning and welcome to our LakePoint Kid online experience. I'm Ms. Rachel and I'm super excited you are joining me for this time. Let me start off by saying that I miss you guys. I wish we could be together in the fireside room as we normally are, but I'm thankful for the chance to connect this way in the meantime. I hope and pray you are all healthy and keeping busy with your books and toys and craft supplies and enjoying some extra family time. But most importantly, I hope that you are trusting God throughout this. Maybe what's happening right now has you kind of confused, or maybe you're feeling nervous, uncertain, or scared. I can understand that. But I want to remind you that God is with you throughout it all. He hasn't left you, and He wants to help you. Sometimes when people think about God helping them, they imagine Him like a genie who will make all their wishes come true. But that's not who God is. God's way of helping sometimes involves the things happening around you, but usually involves what's going on inside of you. So I encourage you, first off, to tell God how you're feeling. Tell Him what you are thinking, ask Him your questions, and be completely honest with Him. And then, as you tell Him those things, ask Him to fill your heart and your mind with peace, help you not to worry, but to remember that He is with you. You know, why don't we just take a moment right now to pray for that? Let's close our eyes and let's talk to God. Dear God, thank you that you see what's going on in our world, and that you care about all of us. And Lord, I pray right now that you would take all those feelings we may be feeling of nervousness and uncertainty and fear, and you would replace them with your peace. God, I pray that we would sense your presence and we would be reminded of your truth, that you love us, that we can trust you, and that you're with us always. In Jesus' name, amen. This is something you can do many times over whenever you start to feel scared or nervous or confused or uncertain, and God will help you exchange those yucky feelings for peace. It's a beautiful gift that He gives us. So there's another beautiful gift that God gives us, and we've been talking about it for a few weeks already, and we're going to pick up right where we left off in our series. Can you remember what we've been talking about? It starts with the letter F, and no, it's not frogs, French toast, or fingernails, it's forgiveness. And what exactly is forgiveness? Well, forgiveness is deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. I'll count to 3 and then we'll say it together. 1, 2, 3. Forgiveness is deciding that someone who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. And we have a fix-it theme, a DIY theme to go along with it. And we've talked about what DIY stands for, haven't we? It's do it yourself. So that could mean that instead of going out to the store to buy a piece of artwork for that blank wall, you grab your canvas and your paints and you create your own picture. This is a picture that our Thrive students did this past winter with Miss Susan. How neat is that? It's a Valentine's Day picture. It's a DIY. Or perhaps when your family's car or truck needs the oil change, instead of going to the garage or to the shop for that, your dad crawls under the truck and takes care of it himself. It's another example of a do-it-yourself. Now, how do you think this goes along with forgiveness? Well, I believe they go together because just like when you fix something or update something or create something, you're improving things, making them better. It's the same way when you forgive someone. When you forgive someone, you are making that relationship better and improving it. And we'll unpack more about what that looks like in a few minutes. But first, let's stop and talk about our memory verse of the month. So this month, we've been learning a new memory verse about forgiveness, and I bet there are some of you who already have this verse memorized. If that's you, know that I'm very proud of you. Excellent work. For those of you who don't yet have it memorized, well, perhaps today is the day to learn it. So our verse is found in the New Testament in the book of Colossians, and we've been learning a bit of history about our verse and who wrote it, so let's do a quick recap of that first. Our verse, found in Colossians, was written by a man named Paul, that's right. And he actually wrote this book while he was in, prison. Crazy enough. Now, he wasn't in prison for like stealing a car or anything like that. He had been arrested because he was a Christian and he loved Jesus and he wouldn't stop telling people about Jesus, even sometimes if people didn't like what he had to say. The government back then didn't like people who followed Jesus, especially people who preached about Jesus a lot. And so Paul was arrested for this more than once. But that didn't stop Paul. Oh no. If he couldn't talk to someone about Jesus, he'd just write to them about Jesus. And so that's what he did. This book is actually a letter, and it was written to a church in a place called Colossae, which is why the book is called Colossians. There was a church there, and this church likely met in someone's house. And while Paul often liked to travel and visit different churches and believers, he hadn't yet gotten to Colossae. And now that he was in jail, he decided to write them a letter. And Paul's hope was that not only this church there would read the letter, but they would share it and study it and learn from it and then pass it along to other churches and believers nearby. All right, so now that we've got some history down about our verse, let's actually learn it. Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you're holding something against someone. Forgive just as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13 nerve. Okay, read it with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you're holding something against someone. Forgive just as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13 nerve. All right, one more time on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you are holding something against someone. Forgive just as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13 nerve. And for your memory verse challenge today, we're going to pretend we are doing some DIY while we practice. For the first one, let's pretend we are building a shed in our backyard. Okay, now grab your hammer and let's pretend to hammer up the boards. Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you're holding something against someone. Forgive just as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13 nerve. Now, instead of buying our tomatoes at the grocery store, we're going to grow them ourselves in our own garden. So grab your shovel and let's start digging up the ground. All right, here we go. Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you are holding something against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13 nerve. Excellent. All right, last one. It's time to paint our fence. So pick out the color you'd want, grab your paintbrush, and let's paint our fence. All right. Put up with one another. Forgive one another if you're holding something against someone. Forgive just as the Lord forgave you. Colossians 3:13 nerve. Well, that was fun, and hopefully this helps you to remember our verse better. So let's talk about forgiveness again. Forgiveness is deciding that somebody who has wronged you doesn't have to pay. And our bottom line, or our focus point of today, is take the first step to forgive others. Let's say it together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Take the first step to forgive others. Taking the first step to forgive others, that means that instead of waiting for the other person to come and say they're sorry or to come to you, you're willing to go to that person first and if needed, apologize and also offer forgiveness. Now I want you to think about it. Which do you usually do? When you and your siblings argue or when you and your friend have a disagreement, whatever the case, do you find yourself making the first step towards fixing and mending that relationship? Or do you wait for the other person to come to you first? Well, God actually has something to say about that in the Bible, and we're going to learn more about that with our friends from the So-and-So Show. So check out what they have to say.
What are you doing, John?
Ugh.
Don't touch anything!
Too late.
Ah, I got you red-handed.
Yeah. So what's going on?
Oh, I just thought the basement needed a little sprucing up, so I put a little fresh coat of paint on it. Oh, here.
Thank you. Awesome. Can I see?
Sure. Huh?
Ah. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
So why paint everything if it's just going to look exactly the same?
Ah. I didn't want to dust.
All right. Well, anyway, we should get this cleaned up. We got a show to do.
Wait, I wouldn't sit.
John?
Yeah?
Did you paint everything in the room? John? John? John!
Ugh.
everybody, I'm Steven.
That low down, no good, hairy face.
And this is John.
That
And you're
fleet-
watching the So-and-So
Footed,
Show.
snappy, dressing, teeth, flossing.
Problem, John?
No, it's nothing. Just go on with the show.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this can wait.
Okay. So, have I got a surprise for you?
Do you know what my close personal friend and longtime rival, Longbeard Carl, did to me? Do you know what he did? That
No.
cheese-eating, shoe-wearing...
What did he do?
I don't even want to say.
Okay. So, you may have wondered exactly
I posted a hilarious picture on Longbeard Carl's Snap Twit profile, and he didn't even like it.
Oh. You mean he didn't?
No, he didn't even. Or he didn't even. Or he didn't even. Not even a lousy LOL.
Oh, well, I mean, maybe he didn't see the picture yet.
Oh, I posted it 4 minutes ago.
Oh.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give Longbeard Carl a piece of my mind. Yeah, I'm gonna tell him exactly how I feel.
You know, communication is very important.
In a text message.
Okay.
Dear Long Beard Carl, you've got a lot of nerve.
You know what? Maybe a phone call would be faster.
Your quote friend, comma, unquote, John.
Done?
Yeah.
Hope that helps.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh. Oh no, you didn't!
What?
Look,
I have no idea what that means.
what, isn't it obvious? Longbeard Carl doesn't say much, but when he does, oh boy, look out! Boom! He's saying, I'm surprised at what a chicken you are. John, you're cheesy. You got served.
That is a penguin.
You know what? I'm done. It's over. Let's just move on.
Come on, you can't leave it like that.
Oh, I'm leaving it.
That's probably broken.
Let's do this. Hey, I'm John.
I did that part a long time
Oh,
ago.
that's great. Hey,
Yeah.
why is the desk covered with a tablecloth?
Oh, right. That's what I wanted to show you. Our desk has been through a lot, right?
Definitely. Here we go.
Stop! 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So, as a surprise to you and the show and our viewers, I took the liberty of giving our desk a little restoration. Now it's as good as new.
Wow!
Yeah.
It doesn't even look like the same desk.
I know.
Is it the same desk?
You know, John, restoration takes time. You would not believe the lengths with which I've gone to restore our desk to its original splendor.
No, seriously, is it the same
I
desk?
traveled to the forest, the largest forest in the northwestern hemisphere. I spent days, weeks even, scouring the forest floor for the naturally discarded branches of the bald cypress tree, only selecting the most perfect specimens to fortify the edifice of our most prominent piece of furniture. And then I made my way to the Texarkana wood stain fields where the dark walnut wood stain flows like a river underground. This is the only stain that properly accentuates the essence of the desk. And finally, to the highest peak in Coralville, Iowa, I traipsed, and I called forth the famed lacquer bird like so. Hip-ya! And he carried me to his nest, where I feasted on berries whilst secretly collecting some of the lacquer for myself. And then, eventually, I escaped from there and restored the desk.
You bought a new desk, didn't you?
Restoring furniture is really hard.
It's Bible story time with Kellen.
Hey, Kellen.
Hey, Kellen.
Hey, guys.
Tell us a story that will inspire us and enrich our lives.
Alrighty then. Well, how about a story that'll help you exercise forgiveness?
That's right, Gallons! It's time to Bible size with Maze!
Hello, Horvath.
Horvath!
Horvath.
Horvath!
Horvath.
Horvath?
Oh, no, you're Horvath.
Oh!
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll tell a story, and Horvath here will help us remember it with some exercises.
Bible sizes!
Bible sizes!
Yeah, all
Sure.
right. Let's do this!
You bet. All right. So Jesus was sitting on a mountainside teaching a big crowd. Some people call what he was teaching the Sermon on the Mount.
All right! First exercise! The mountain sit. It's like this. You've got to get on the mountains, so you jumps, and then you sits.
Okay.
You do this, you do this.
Okay.
Right, you jump and sit. Okay, we do this 10 times. Okay, ready? 1, 45. So that's the cue. 10. Okay, continue stories.
Right. One of the things Jesus taught was this. He said, suppose you were offering your gift at the altar.
What?
The altar. Well, it was a place where people would go to bring sacrificial gifts to God. It was very important because at that time, it was the only way people had to make peace with God when they messed up. Do you need me to?
Second exercise! The God gift give. First, you lift the gift.
Okay.
Oh, then you give it to God. Oh, goes. Lift. Give. 137 times. 1, 2, space. Kuzma.
It's hard. Feel the Bible.
137. All right, keep going.
So Jesus said, whew,
Yeah.
suppose you are offering your gift at the altar and you remember your brother or sister has something against you.
Oh, fifth exercise. The memory smack. To do this, you have to use your brains. And your brains. Think real hard like this. Eh.
Are you okay?
And then you. Oh, I remembered. You do this.
Oh, okay.
Thinking.
I remembered.
Yeah, you do this exercise 1 time.
Okay.
Finish the story.
Oh, yes, okay. Okay, yes. So you're at the altar and you remember your brother or sister has something against you. Then Jesus said, leave your gift in front of the altar. First go and make peace with them, then come back and offer your gift.
1 millionth exercise. Run, Callens. Run. We must make peace with our brothers and sisters as fast as we can.
You see how important forgiveness is to Jesus? He said people should make peace with their brother or sister before they made peace with God at the altar.
Get faster!
Horvath? In our world today, we don't have to bring a sacrifice to an altar to make peace with God. Jesus took care of that part when he gave his life on the cross for us. But forgiving others is still very important. So when you've got a problem with a friend or a family member or anyone, try and forgive them quickly. The longer you wait, the harder it will be.
Oh, I have made the pieces.
That's great, Horvath. I'm very proud of you. Do you want to go sit down?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Kellen.
Yeah, thanks.
I guess that's it then. Reveal!
Wait.
There's something I have to do first. Hold on.
Where are you? It's just leaving.
Oh. Water. Whoa! Look at that bird! I hope it doesn't pick me up! forgive somebody! Oh! Longbeard Carl! No, don't speak. I have something to say. I am mad at you because you didn't respond to the picture I sent to you. And I didn't appreciate the emojis you sent back. Now, maybe you didn't see the picture. Maybe you didn't mean to send those emojis. I don't know. All I do know is this. No matter what the truth really is, I forgive you. Thank you, Longbeard Carl. Thank you.
You're back.
Yes.
All right.
You may continue.
Reveal the question. What is keeping you from forgiving?
Yeah. Is it anger or fear or good old-fashioned pride? You know what? Whatever it is, get rid of it because it feels good to forgive.
True. Restoring a relationship can be hard work, just like it was hard work restoring this desk.
You bought this desk.
Yes, I did, but it would have been really hard if I tried.
Yeah, I want the old desk back.
That's fine. We can restore it together.
Oh, deal!
Indeed!
Yeah!
We'll see you all on the next So-and-So show!
Yes, we will! Pew, pew, pew. Bang, bang, bang!
Fur, 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 fur.
Hurdy, hurdy!
So after watching that, who should take the first step? That's right, we should. Did you catch what Kellen shared about how before we even approach God to worship Him, we need to go to someone first if we need to offer them an apology or forgiveness? That's how important it is to God. He's willing to wait for us to do that first. Forgiveness is a big deal to God. When the very first people, Adam and Eve, turned away from God by sinning, it broke all of mankind's relationship with God. Now, we can't really blame them though, can we? Because we're guilty of sinning too. But sin causes our relationship with God to be broken. And early on in the Bible, in the Old Testament, the only way to fix that broken relationship with God was to go to the temple and kill a perfect animal as a sacrifice, as a way to ask for forgiveness from God. And that's how people made peace with Him. But all that changed when God sent Jesus. Jesus sacrificed His own life on the cross to make things right with God for us. We didn't have to pay for it. We haven't earned it. Jesus took the first step to forgive us. And that's what we need to do when someone does something that hurts us or makes us upset. We need to take the first step to forgive. And often, the longer we wait, the harder it is to make things right. I mean, sometimes forgiveness is quick and painless, but sometimes you'll need to ask God to help you forgive. But no matter what, it's up to you to choose to forgive the other person. So remember today, we need to take the first step to forgive others. Well, now's the time where we'd usually dismiss you to small groups. And guess what? I'm still gonna do that, only today your small group leader is gonna be someone in your house. Maybe your mom or your dad or a grandparent or an older sibling. Now there's something very special I want you to do during your small group time, and it's to take a picture of your small group time and post it to our new LakePoint Family Church Kids page. It's a brand new page that we've started that's only visible to our LakePoint kid families. So let's get some great pictures of your small group time on that page today. And one of the families who posts a picture will win a gift card this week, so make sure to post. For our small group time today, we have 2 activities. First off, I want you to read Matthew 5, verses 23 and 24, and then answer these questions: who, what, when, and why. So that's look up Matthew 5, 23 to 24, and answer these questions: who, what, when, and why. And parents, perhaps you have an example of a time when you had to forgive someone and took that first step to fix the relationship that you could share with your child to go along with this time. Now press pause, complete the activity, and then come back to me when you're ready for the second set of instructions. Now, I encourage you to pull out some paper and markers or crayons and trace your feet and then write, I can take the first step in forgiving others somewhere on the page. Then find a special spot to hang this as a reminder of what we need to do. So find some paper and markers, trace your feet, and write, I can take the first step in forgiving others. You can draw the feet wearing crazy socks or sporting pretty nail polish or even having hairy toes. Remember to take a picture at some point during these activities and post it to our new LakePoint Family Church Kids page. I can't wait to see the pictures. All right, press pause, complete this activity, and then come back one more time. I'll see you again next time, friends. Same place, same time. Remember, God is with you, He loves you, and you can trust Him.